Craig, and I've been in the solar industry about 15 years, and there's not anything that really excites me too much anymore. I just get it done, and that's really what I do. I just get it done, and I don't quit. I don't quit, and I don't quit from whether it's sales aspect of it, whether it's the financing aspect of it, whether it's the procurement, whether it's operations, whether it's installing it, whether it's commissioning it. It doesn't matter. I've been on every aspect of it. I think that if I had to roll through the whole program again, starting from my first year, I would have stayed in the sales aspect of it if I had to do it all over again. It's the most fun area to be in because you get to play with the client. You get to play with the client. And when I say play with the client, you get to play with the client. I think it's the most rewarding part. If you can learn one thing, to drop the sale and go and forget about it and let the company do the rest. Okay? That's what your job is. So what I like to teach salespeople to do is to learn that job well. The moment you learn or you think you need to learn how to do it, to be what, Cameron?
Do what?
The moment you think you need to become a what, you fail it.
An engineer?
An engineer. The moment you think you need to become an engineer, or an operations individual, or an installer, you fail at being a salesperson. You just do. You don't need to know that part. And nor does an engineer need to think that they need to be a salesperson, or an installer need to think that they need to be a salesperson. Okay? So that's why we have sales departments. That's why we have finance departments. That's why we have install departments. Okay? That's why they're specific to those departments, because that's what they need to become good at. So I have always been part of a fully PC. I have never gotten out of it. I've tried, but I've never gotten out of it. I still own a fully PC. So, and I still do sales, and I still do financing, I still do operations, I still do it all. So, but actually, fortunately, I believe that it's been very beneficial for me to have experienced this last year. Okay, but it's all changed. It's changed this last year. Solar has always changed throughout the last 15 years, but it's really changed quite dramatically this year. And the reasoning for that is because of the pandemic. Okay, it's changed for a good reason though. People need solar a little bit more than they ever have. Okay, because why? Fear of loss. Fear of loss. They have lost a lot. They've had to stay home. They've had to bring their families a little bit closer. Okay, they've lost loved ones. They have lost their jobs. They have lost their security. Okay, they've lost their hope. Okay, they're scared. They're scared of getting the virus. I don't know if you heard what happened this morning, but they had to pull one of the vaccines, actually, that I was set to get on the 20th.
That's what I was going for, and I'm like,
Which one?
The Johnson & Johnson. I was set to get that on the 20th. Can't get it now.
that's the one I wanted.
Okay. So, you know, this is going to be an ongoing thing. I don't know if you know that, but it is, because it's a virus, okay, until they get it under control. And they don't have, we have positive stuff going, but, we're still going to have the virus around. Okay, so it's changed. So we have to change in how we think, okay? So what we have to be is we have to be a little bit softer with them, but we still have to do what? We have to fulfill that pain, okay? You've got to fulfill the pain. Pain is what this is. So you've got to think in terms of pain, okay? Before you learn anything, You have got to fulfill the pain, because every home that you go into has pain, and you gotta figure out what their pain is.
All different.
It's all different, okay? I just spent the weekend with Grant Cardone. Anybody know who that is?
Yep.
Google him.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know, that dude's a big dude.
I just wrote out a check to Tony Robbins. Anybody know who he is?
Yeah.
Cost me $18,000.
Motivational speaker.
He is
Motivational
going
speaker,
to,
Huge one.
he is going to train my company for the next 12 months,
That's dope.
If not longer.
if not longer.
Tony Robbins is?
That's
Mhm.
awesome.
Yep.
I've
Yeah.
got both of those individuals.
Grant
I got this guy
Cardone,
for it.
we used to have, at Vibe, we bought the business version.
Mhm.
I mean, there was like 1,000 different,
Mhm.
1,000 different little, 5-10 minute things.
Mhm.
And I used to make all my people watch about 10 of them a week.
You can YouTube him, and you should write it down. If you're not here with a pen, number one wrong, okay? Write it down. Right. Take notes. Get notebooks out. Start
Y'all got a
writing.
notebook and a pen, right? Bam. So
The only
Grant
ones
Cardone.
that's not gonna get away with it, Cameron, because I beat everything into his brain.
I've got it in my email too.
What is his name? Cameron.
No, you're.
Oh, Grant Cardone. He is rough and tough.
Is mine?
Rough and tough. And anybody tells me I already know that. Right, Cameron?
Take one.
Right. How many times have you told me that? How many times have I told you? Nope, that ain't right.
Every day.
Every day. Okay. But I'm gonna tell you this, after being with, alongside me for 9 years, I'm gonna tell you what, Cameron has learned that, the best way to learn is to listen, right? Listen, listen, listen. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Shut the mouth and just listen. Learn. Take it in, drink it and love it. Learn to love it. You gotta learn to love it. Because if you can learn to love it, you will make money. You will make money. And you're not greedy if you love money, okay? If you love money, but you gotta learn to love the client, okay? The client is the start of your career, okay? It is the hand that's going to feed you. It has done well for me for 35 years. Probably longer, I'm lying, probably longer, because I'm 55 and old, okay? And it's always been about the client, okay? I gotta love that client. And truly, not fake, okay? There's fake salesperson. There's fake salespeople all over the world, okay? And I can smell that shit a mile away. Okay, if you're fake with me, you're gone.
I've got clients I still talk to that I sold over a year ago.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Get out of my face. I don't want you. I can have a room of 25 people, and within 20 minutes, I can tell you, get out. I don't want you. Okay? If you're just here to make money, I don't want you. But if you're genuinely going to treat for my company, whether I'm working for somebody or whether it's my own company, it's all going to be the same. I want you to be real. Because I want you to love that client and love what you do. Because anything other than that doesn't work.
Right.
And I want you to put forth all 120% of what you can do to make it happen. Okay? And if you can't do that, you gotta leave. Okay? Because this is an easy job if you love it. It's a hard job if you don't. Okay?
It can be very rewarding.
But it's not easy, is it, Cameron?
No.
Because you gotta get up and you gotta do it every day. And you can't quit. There's no quitting. There's just no quitting. Okay? So we're gonna talk, it's changed. And you gotta be ready. Okay? You gotta be ready to drink it in. And you gotta be ready to manifest what you learn. Okay? The most important thing that you can do for yourself in a day is take a little time for yourself in the morning. And I don't mean get on your video games in the morning. I've been through that. Where I gotta, and that's what your mind does. Does nothing. Okay? Take a little time. You gotta work this out with yourself. Whether it's meditate, talk to God, whatever it may be. Do some breathing exercises. Do some exercises. But you know what? You gotta spend at least 15 to 30 minutes a day for yourself. Okay? So you can create your mindset. It's important. This is important to be ready and prepare yourself every single day. A great salesman will learn that. A great salesperson will learn that. And then have a little coffee or tea or juice or whatever it is that you got going on. Okay? And then prepare for your sales, your material, this stuff. And this is just a start, by the way. It's just today. It's just today. Okay? There's more to come. I just don't want to blow your shit up in one day. Okay? I'm a little rough around the edges, just don't worry. Okay? But the reason I'm rough around the edges is that's how you learn. I make you pay attention. And trust me, I'm a loving person. Okay? Because that's how I'm going to create a quality individual. Okay? It's if I prepare you mentally, emotionally, so you can get what I'm going to try and teach you. Okay? Make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to show you this questionnaire here because we're going to go through a process. And that's this right here. And I apologize, it's got direct solar on it. I have many
I
of
sent
these.
everything to Rob.
But Robbie's going to adjust this for you. And also, this may or may not be Isaac's process. And I'm going to have Rob review it.
Yep.
Okay? And Rob is going to change the names of the people on this, right, Rob?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have can you send me the actual files?
Yes. Or Cameron's got it. Will you
Yeah, I
it
can
to him?
send it all over. I sent you the presentation, I'll send you over the questionnaire, I'll send you over the
Thank you so much.
in-home process, I'll send it all over.
I had a major catastrophe yesterday. I don't know what happened, but I wiped out my whole email on my computer. I have three computers. And it's just one of those things. And I have all of my files on that computer. So anyway, so I had a little bit of stroke. There is a questionnaire that I want to go through first. I want you guys to read through this, and then we'll make these adjustments. But one of the most important things is I want to teach you a little bit about how to ask a question. Okay? Because when you're going into the house and you're pulling up and you're driving, when you're driving to that home, I want you to think about the traffic. Okay? Traffic pisses people off. It does. Pisses people off. Road rage, road rage, road rage, road rage. I want you to think about something. I want you to think about the questionnaire. And I want you to think about a mountain. This is what I used to do. I want you to think about a mountain. And I want you to think about you're standing on top of that mountain. Okay? And you have that questionnaire in your hand. And you've made that sale. You've made that sale. And you've made $1,000. $1,000. And that $1,000 is in your pocket because you've made that sale. What are you gonna do with it? How are you gonna spend it? Are you gonna spend it on a new car? Are you gonna down payment on a new car? Are you gonna buy yourself spa treatment? Facial? Massage? You got kids?
They're older adults.
You're older adults? Yeah. What's something you want? Right off the top of your head, what's something you want?
Travel.
Yeah? Where would you go?
Pebble Beach.
Pebble Beach? Weekend in Pebble Beach? Yeah? You got $1,000. You're standing on South Mountain. You know where that is?
Yes.
Yeah. You got that planner in your hand and you made that sale. You got that $1,000 in your pocket. You're gonna go to Pebble Beach for the weekend. How's that make you feel?
Good.
As you're driving in traffic, and it's jammed, rather than letting your mind go over here and it pisses you off, that's where you need to put your mind. Okay? Because you're not going into that appointment pissed off. Okay? That's where you need to put your mind. Does that make sense?
Right, energy to follow.
Yep. Good energy.
You have already made that sale. You've got that money in your pocket before you go. Are you with me? Do you feel me?
I do.
Okay. All right. Now we're gonna go down another road. You're in that sale, and you have done everything right. And we're gonna teach you how to do everything right. And you've called Rob. You are at credit, and the text comes through and it says credit failed. And you've done everything right. Everything right. You asked your questions right. You did your proposal right. They loved it. They loved it. And they are so perfect for it. South-facing roof. No panel upgrade. No panel upgrade. Everything is right. They're so perfect, God.
That is perfect.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm gonna make $1,000. And Rob says, credit failed. God damn it, Rob. What's wrong with you? God damn it, Rob. God damn it, Rob.
Fix it, Rob, fix it.
Don't you have anything else?
Don't say that.
Okay. I'm just going with it. This happens. So here's what you need to do. Instead of going down that road, here's the fix. Or you need to call me. Because here's what I'm going to tell you. You know what? What's your name again?
John.
John. That's what I thought. Honestly, that's what I was going to say. John. You know what, John? Here's what I'm going to tell you. John, you want to know something? From start to finish, you did your questionnaire perfectly. And I'm proud of you. You presented that proposal absolutely out of this world. You had the perfect client. And you know what? You're going to get another perfect client. And you're going to present to them their questionnaire perfectly. And also, you're going to find another perfect panel box. And you're going to get another perfect south-facing roof. And you know what? Your next sale is just around the corner. So here's what I'm going to tell you. You need to celebrate this sale that you made. And you're going to do it again tomorrow.
And the next day, and the next day.
And the next, yep, exactly. Okay. So you need to, what I want you to do is I want you to feel good about what you just did. Regardless about how you feel about Rob, because what Rob did, he did his very best with what he did. Okay? So it's about changing your mindset immediately about circumstances that were completely out of your control. The traffic is not in your control.
Don't get down.
Their credit score is not in your control. Okay? So all of this is about mindset. That is what Grant Cardone and Tony Robbins teaches you. Okay? Tony Robbins, fortunately, for me, is what I learned 10 years ago. That a company paid me, or paid for me to go through. And then I'm paying for my people to go through now. Okay? So, that's what you learn how to think. Okay? Another great thinker in the world is Napoleon Hill. Okay? Dale Carnegie. You need to write these people down.
And the book from Napoleon Hill is 16 Laws of Success.
Yeah. Dale Carnegie. Principles.
Oh my gosh.
Okay? Principles. Okay?
16 laws of
Yeah,
success.
yeah.
We used to watch stuff
Stephen
every
Covey. Uh-huh,
We used to watch stuff every morning.
uh-huh.
That's the book I read.
Okay,
in
so
college.
you need to get your mind
Yeah.
in the right,
Napoleon?
you know. My motto is this. My company motto is from me to you. Okay? From me to you. Okay? And that's what I'm doing for you.
I'm sorry, what's the other guy's name you said? Bill who? Carnegie?
Dale Carnegie. And I'm certified actually in Dale Carnegie.
These are.
And I believe because of these thinkers, that is why I am the way I am today. And you know what? There's nothing great about me. There's absolutely nothing great about me at all. And do I ever get mad, Cameron?
No.
But you know what? I would never show it. I would never show it to you. Ever. Not to a client. Not to, the only person I really show it to maybe is Cameron.
Yeah, but she always comes back an hour later, so.
Yeah. Or what I say to him is, what did I say to you the other day? You know what? I needed just to get off the phone for a moment. And I don't remember what that was about, but
Engage.
It had something to do with the MPU.
yeah. You know, and you have, as an owner, you have that, because there's a lot of pressure. Isaac knows that. Very well, I'm sure. And he's one of the coolest cats I know, so.
Score.
No, but it's true.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
When you get so much on your plate, it's bound to happen.
That's why we have to hire people. And something that I've learned too, in just in the few things that I've gone through, and I just recently hired Tony Robbins back into my group, and is that I need to hire people. And I hired another guy too. I'm doing a dual program, and he is right here out of Phoenix, and that is Dean Grazioni. Do you know him?
I've heard the last name.
Yeah.
Grazioni.
He is teaching me how to market
That's a good
a
one.
little bit more. How to do YouTube
Mm.
and
That's a
grow
big thing.
your company.
That might be a good thing because we've had a lot of.
Yeah, there's
Bad
a lot
experience
of
with
people that will
people
take your money, man. So, but I've learned to that if I hire somebody to work for me on a weekly basis, that I can make more money if I pay somebody to do the minuscule tasks.
That's about right.
So, so we're going to talk about. We've talked about assessing yourself, if you're ready mentally and emotionally, right? And how to get yourself out, and we'll talk more on that, on how to groom yourself mentally and emotionally. But first off is you're driving to the lead, and then what you're going to do is you're going to get into that lead. You're going to do a meet and greet, okay? Meet and greet to Mr. and Mrs. Jones. You're going to find a table. Never pitch in a patio, even if they ask. Drive yourself to a table. Always, always, always.
Get in the house.
Get in the house and hear me when I say this. I'm gonna say it loud. Get to a table. There's no other option but get to a table. Okay? If you're at a lead, you need to sit by Mr. And if you're at a lead, you need to sit by Mrs. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know why? You know why you want to sit by the Mister and why you want to sit by the Missus?
Bond.
And also not to offend the other.
Yeah, not to offend
Right.
them.
This does not create an uncomfortable
Oh,
situation.
yeah, that's
You're
not
sitting,
to
sitting next to my,
offend them.
you're an opposite sex, and sitting next to my significant
Because
other.
I've had them try to
And-
sit on both sides of me in a home and I won't do it.
And when you're in the house, and keep this in mind, when you're getting in the house, okay, at that time you have to mentally and emotionally own that house. Okay, it's your house. You believe me? You're there to get a contract. Why? Because you're there to climb the top of what?
Oh,
That mountain.
hit that mountain.
Yep. Because guess what? You're selling solar. Everybody in this valley needs solar. Mm-hmm. You're gonna write down this question. This is my favorite question. Favorite question. Mr. and Mrs. Jones. What's my favorite question? Cameron?
You've got too many of them.
Can I
At
see your
some
bill?
point, I'm gonna ask them, you know what, I've been doing this a really long time, way too long, as you can tell, I'm old. Why haven't you gone solar yet? Solar's been around for a long time. What has prevented you from going solar? And, is there a trash can around here?
Yeah.
They've all got the same exact answer.
Think of this as a puke bucket. Give them time to puke. Why? Okay? Well, the salesman was out, and he was like slimy, gross, and he was trying to pressure us into this, and oh my God, the prices were astronomical. Oh, and he wanted us to sign today, and da 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 da, and I'm thinking it was a scam. Oh my God, let him go on forever. Take notes. Oh, slow down, Mr. Strong. I'm gonna make sure. I wanna know why.
Always have a piece of paper and a pen.
Yep. Why? Shows that you care.
You're paying attention to what they're saying, what they're telling you.
Yep. Shows that you care. Okay? Because you know what's right back here? It's called the subconscious mind. You'll learn that at Dale Carnegie. You'll learn it at Tony Robbins. You're going to learn it at Dale Carnegie. Excuse me, Tony, Grant Cardone. I don't think I said that twice. The subconscious mind does this. Because remember, when you go into a home, what you're going to do is you're going to lead them to the sale. Mentally and emotionally. You ain't going to sell them shit, but you're going to lead them to the sale, mentally and emotionally. Just by the hand. Just like this. Come on, take a walk with me. That's what we're doing. When you get really good at it, that's what you're doing. Okay? Doesn't matter about the soul. Forget about it. Forget about it. Okay? We know that we have the best thing in the world to get them. You're not going to have to sell it. You're just going to mentally, emotionally lead them to the soul. So, let them puke. Listen. What did God give you?
2 years.
2 years.
2
In
ears.
one mouth.
In one mouth. Shut them up. Don't interrupt. Don't ever interrupt them. Okay? I used to do this. Sit at the table and put my 2 fingers over my mouth. Because I would talk too much. Okay, as they were speaking. Okay? And I would tap my lip. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. If I felt oh my goodness.
Really stop yourself.
Brain fart.
What company was that? Oh, never heard of one. Even if I did. Even if I did.
Every time they mention a company, I don't know. I've
Yeah.
never heard of it.
Yeah. Now, my husband, by the way, is my partner. Met him in the industry. Married him. He is the total opposite of me. Oh yeah, I know that company. Yeah, they're bad. And every time he gets off the phone, I kick his ass. When you do that,
Makes you know better than them.
makes you know that. Yeah, exactly. I believe that. I don't care what company it is. I don't care how good or bad they are. Don't do that.
Never badmouth them.
Never badmouth another company. Don't ever do that. Even if you have that horrible urge, just puke it in the bucket. Just don't do that. It's no good. So, with that being said, once that's all over with, Just apologize on behalf of the industry. Unfortunately, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I apologize that you had that experience. And hopefully today, with the information that I'm gonna give you, that your experience is a little bit better. Okay? So the information that I'm gonna share with you, hopefully, you will see the benefits that our company has. And that it will benefit your home and you as well. Okay? Are we good? Are you ready to move forward? Okay. Okay. Moving forward is important, okay? Because you're asking permission for them to move forward. Ask for permission. And I forgot to write one more thing up here. We're gonna get in an agreement. Okay? Everything is about getting into an agreement. Say yes. Say yes, say yes. Get into an agreement. Okay. All right, yes. So, does anybody know what an agenda is? Okay. You're gonna let them know the minute you set them down at what?
The table.
The table. Okay. So, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, here's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna go through this brief planner. Just gonna ask you a few questions. Nothing personal. It's just how you're living in your home. Okay? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a brief PowerPoint presentation. We have sent that to Rob. And it's gonna be designed for eco-management. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna find out how they're living in their home. We're gonna show them a visual. Okay, because people need to see. Okay, a little bit about how energy is flowing, about how energy is working in the world. And then what we're gonna do, and then what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to look at your service panel. Are you all right with that? Okay. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take pictures of that. Okay, you're gonna shoot them back to the office and shoot them to Rob. Okay, whether Rob uses them or not, you're gonna do that. The reason we do that is we want that homeowner to touch that panel, gets them engaged. Okay, and then they're gonna say, well, what are you gonna do with the service panel? Well, it's gonna, you know, if we have to do anything with it, well, I don't want you to worry about it, but they're gonna want to know if it has to be derated or upgraded. Well, does that cost extra? No. Okay, we're gonna reduce their stress. Okay, so we want them to touch that. Okay, and why do we want them to touch it?
Get them involved.
Gets them involved. And you're gonna take pictures of that, snap, 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 and be sure to take both homeowners with you. Don't let her stand back. Okay, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna walk and you're gonna look at the roof. Okay, a lot of salesmen are lazy. Most salesmen are lazy. Cameron, do you take pictures of them? Every time. Sends them right to me.
I am in a house no less than probably 2.5 to 3 hours every appointment I go to.
Because you know why? I'll tell you why.
I've had life conversations.
You're asking for 30 grand? You better damn well be spending some time.
The one the other day was $82,000, I think.
$82,000 and two
Home improvement loans.
home improvement.
And then I went to my next door neighbor the next day and wrote him. He paid me cash.
Okay, when you hit one neighbor, guys, you hit the neighbors. And the thing is, once you start doing one thing, the same thing, and again, the why, we copy, paste, repeat. If you did this and you do the same thing holistically across the board, you should have, it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game after that.
If you do what Renee shows you to do, you will be successful.
Cameron is.
I am not a salesman. I hate sales.
He's
Hate
the
it.
He's the living proof of that.
I hate it.
And
And I'm probably one of the best salesmen there is in Arizona right now.
yeah,
And that's not being.
he's a high closer.
That, I've had about probably close to a
I'm pretty
90% closing
honest,
rate.
so if I'm saying, Kevin.
And I'm not a salesman. I would rather sit and work with the customer like Rob does. Go to the customer's house, make sure they have everything they need.
You know what? Cameron has been in.
No. I think it's Rob,
Celeste put that
No,
in.
I think it's yours.
or yours.
Cameron has been in the home, and the homeowner has rushed him. And I have been on the other end of that, and I have said, you will not leave that home until those documents are signed. You will not leave that home
And I don't. I'll get him on another conversation.
He wants to, he's worried about his fish out in the backyard. I remember this. He's worried about the fish out in the
Oh, yeah, that
backyard.
guy
He's
was.
worried that you will not leave that home until the documents are signed.
I mean, he had a koi pond and he had just went and
You
bought
remember that sale, Rob?
$6,000
Yes.
worth of fish.
And
they were floating belly up.
I said, you will not leave that home until them documents are signed. Don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. Keep him engaged, keep him engaged, keep him engaged, keep him engaged. And he did, he got it done. That was a Mesa job. So you gotta keep your client engaged. So anyway, we're gonna move forward. So you gotta keep your client engaged. So you're gonna go back in the backyard and you're gonna start building the dream, kinda like Disneyland. Okay? Oh my goodness, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, you've got the perfect roof. Whether you believe that or not, you've got the perfect, everything they have is perfect. Okay? I am not an engineer, but the good news is we have engineers on staff that will design this, they'll put the panels on the roof. Okay, I do believe that they're gonna go probably about here, but you know what, again, I'm not an engineer. But the good news is, they're gonna send you those drafts, you're gonna approve them, right? Is that how you do it?
Absolutely.
Approve them. And, then we're gonna send them in and, they will, the AHJ will approve it. And, that process, they'll share all that whole process with you from our operations department. But here's the interesting part, okay? You have a lot of family and friends, neighbors that you know, okay? That's how my business grows. Referrals, referrals, referrals. Referrals, referrals, referrals. I own Mega Energy and I own Solar Fix. Okay, I'm contracted for both of them. Our business is solely off of referrals. And a lot of it. Okay? Like to the point where I'm choked.
Yeah, it's getting way up
Right.
here again.
I had 4 yesterday. 4 solar jobs. Just solar jobs. Okay. That I know will buy. Okay. If I get my foot in the door, that I haven't called yet, if I get my foot in the door, I know will buy. Because referrals buy. Okay? So the best thing you can do for yourself and your business, and I'm not talking about Isaac's business, I'm talking about your business. Because remember that $1,000? I know Isaac pays more for a referral. Am I not right? Maybe I'm saying that wrong.
No,
You do?
it pays more.
Okay.
So about 20 cents a watt.
Yeah, okay, so up so 20 cents on a 7K to do that. So
$1,400.
$1,400 more, right? Or
So the way that it works too is kind of, it's real simple. We create a lead, whether it's the company cost, her company, my company has to pay a certain cost. Right now, for example, you guys are fresh bringing in leads, right? What this team is gonna do for us in this atmosphere is, they're your new, you know how I went with you to run your deals, Miss Regina? I'm not a sales guy, like Cameron says, right? I do what her husband does, and that's the engineer pitch versus the sales pitch. And I try to put in the relationship because that's what I naturally am. But these individuals are gonna help you not only teach you this, but
text Laura and tell her.
they'll
I'm
run
training.
your appointments with you so you guys can see them in action. Up to 5 appointments with you or more if you want. You guys still get the 20 cents for bringing in the deal because that's what we're gonna make. So that's where your referral, in a sense, would be worth the 20 cents. But the goal is not to have them out there doing your fishing for you. They're gonna be teaching you so that they can, so that now you make the whole, usually the commission is about 50 cents. It could be more, but it all depends on the economics of us saving the client, because it's all about the client, right? Money, right? Because if we don't have economical savings for us, that's kind of when we just look at it. Most battery deals will never have that, but I don't wanna get into that. So that's kind of just a precursor. So basically, for your referrals here within our company now, as to say, we pay 20 cents a watt for your lead referral. So that other referral that you got was just worth 20 cents a watt for you, just by bringing them in. Even if we set that up and someone else closes it for you, because that's what I'll pay any other sales rep, the differential from your 20 cents and what it sells for. That may be 30 cents, it could be more, depending on what that savings is, right? So it's at least 30 cents is where the averages of what we see in the market play. So a 30 cents commission on a, how big was the last system you sold?
The $82,000
Yeah.
one was a 17.5 kW system.
So 17.5, 30 cents, you're making a roughly $5,100 real quick. You see, and now if that came from your lead and he came and shut and closed it and showed you this action of what they're doing and you're learning from it, you made at 20 cents, you made $3,400. Oh shoot, you made $3,400 to set this appointment up, see this killer over here, come over here and show you how to smash it, send it home, and hopefully you're paying attention and just sitting in the background, shutting your mouth, and just and vetting this individual, just like Miss Renee says, because this is the person who's gonna earn you and get you to the mountain in the beginning. But the goal here that Miss Renee is trying to tell you, like the Tony Robbins and the Grant Cardones, is to build you up to get to the mountain by yourself. Because you're already creating the lead. Now she's gonna show you how to go in there and close that bad boy to get yourself the full 50 cents.
Yep.
And she is building, just like Grant Cardone does and just like Tony Robbins do, they wanna get, they're doing thousands, but we wanna get 101% of every man's effort versus trying to bleed someone, right? So this is why I told you, in our company here, Miss Renee, each one of these sales reps has to start their own little LLC. We will help them.
Yeah.
And it's because we're trying to build you to be your own self-sufficing. And what Miss Renee is teaching you is exactly that. It's a business within a business, guys. And it's a good one. So us, we have projected, we're saying for the first 5 projects, they'll run with you. They'll do more. Heck, I'll take the 30 cents all day if you're sending me up deals. But the goal here is to go teachers, learn these fishermen, these Jesuses are here to help guide us, right? To go teach us how to fish. They'll always be taken care of because whatever they build in this downline, we have our arrangements that there will always be something for, we may be 2 different EPCs, but we don't need to compete, we affiliate with each other. And when I need her strengths in certain areas, she comes in, and vice versa, but everybody gets to eat at the end, because that's what it's about, right? Everybody taking care of everybody.
Yep.
So,
Exactly. So your referrals are really, really important. And that's where you need to carry. You need to carry. And you need to do that at the point of sale.
I don't leave the house with no less than 5 referrals from each.
And you know, a lot of salesmen will tell me this. Well, I'm gonna wait until it's in stone. Bullshit. You get it at the point of sale. Okay? Do it now. Okay? Because I'm gonna tell you that in a minute, why you wanna do that now. Okay? So I'm gonna get to that at the bottom, and it has to do with this and that. Okay? Because you're gonna ask for 2 things. You're gonna ask for the money, and you're gonna ask about trust. Okay? So we're gonna go through the questionnaire. You're at the table. We've puked, right? Got the garbage out. Why they haven't gone solar, and then you're gonna go to a quality. Okay, so when you're asking questions and you're going through this is what we call a discovery, okay? Discover. The more you know, the more why. Okay? Why, what, how. Okay? Tell me a little bit more about what you're thinking. Okay, so Cameron, can you scroll down? Alright, so, you know, so how many people live in your home? It's all kind of transparent. How long have you owned the home? You really, you know, how long have you owned the home? Blah, 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 blah. You really want to know who's on the title. Okay? Why?
because they're gonna make
Yes.
sense.
Yeah, they're gonna make the decisions, the loan is under the name.
They're liable.
If it's a
Yeah.
husband and wife, that wife is making this decision. I'm telling you right now. So you better gain her trust.
The wife always makes the decision. Yep, yep. Men don't like to hear that, but
That's true.
the woman always makes the decision. You know, and I'm going to give you a scenario of that. We have a vendor. We have a lot of vendors. We have a lot of roofers that we do business with, and we had one out yesterday that he wants a solar system on his house, and I said, you know, what can you do for me? I don't need a roof, but if you want a solar system on the house, what can you do for me? I can put a pergola on your house. Yeah, I want a pergola. Come on out. And so he was out and measured my house. And my husband, who is a really great guy, funny guy, says, switches right away, and says, well, maybe we should do the underlayment of our house. Whoop, it's not the right thing to tell the wife, because the wife wants pergola, right? And so they're looking at the roof, and you know, and I'm thinking, you know, in this system, he's got the panels already, and he needs, you know, about $8,000-9,000 worth of solar. And in the pergola is going to be about $8,000-9,000, so it's pretty much a swap. And so I kind of backed off it, and I'm thinking, okay, Dick husband's gonna switch and go up. You know, in my mind, I'm doing this, and my husband's like, well, what do you think, honey? What do you think? And I'm kind of backing off it. And he's like, well, you know, I think we probably should stick to the pergola. So the wife always wins the battle. Always will win the battle. That doesn't mean, though, that you should pitch to the wife. Okay? When you're pitching, the husband and wife need to be pitched both. And if the wife is not paying attention, you need to engage them both. And if they're not paying attention, you need to stop
Just be quiet.
and back up. Back up. Okay? It is called physical selling. Okay? So physical selling is backing up. Are you okay, Mrs. Jones? Are you okay, Mrs. Jones? And wait for them to answer. Wait. One of the most powerful things in sales is silence. Silence is deadly. Is deadly. Okay? You know why? It makes them uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. And a little and them being a little uncomfortable is okay. I can sell with very few words. Very few. You know what else I ask them? Do you trust what I'm telling you? Do you know what most of the time I get? Yep. Yep. Do you know why? Because of my body language. Because 99% of the time, they can tell that I've been here a long time. Okay? And that's what I have to teach you, is to make them feel that you've been here for a long time. And that is teaching you the knowledge of how to make them feel that you've been here for a long time. And you know how you do that? Is by not knowing everything. By reaching out to somebody when you don't have all the answers.
I do that to Renee, even if I do know the answer.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
I
I
get her
do
on the
it.
phone 3 or 4 times. I get her on the phone 3 or 4
Yep,
times.
yep. And I do it to my husband. I'll call my husband.
I don't know the answer to that, but let me get
Mhm.
Renee on the phone real quick and I can find out for you.
I've had people tell me, you're not really a salesman, are you? No, not really. I'm just filling in today. Just filling in today. But you know what? The good news is I kind of enjoy doing this. I did it to the ladies the other day. You know, today
And I had them 100% eaten out of their hands before you even went over there that day.
Yeah. And, you know, I kind of enjoy it every once in a while. But, you know, and then make sure, and what I do here is, what type of work do you do? When I ask these questions, I drill down to a second or third level question. Okay, well, tell me a little bit more about your job. How long you been there? How long do you plan on staying? Okay, because you need to know.
Perfect example of that is Jesse Walder. Because I started asking them questions, come to find out he worked for APS. He was one of their engineers with the solar program. So.
Do you have any idea of how much you're paying for a kilowatt hour? Okay, what's that do? Tell you how much they know about solar. So you're going into an education. Do you think that the future cost of utilities is going to increase? Do you know how many increases APS is planning on taking? Does anybody know about what happened to SRP? SRP just got caught with their hands in the cookie jar. Does anybody know about that?
Yeah.
Huge lawsuit that they lost.
Yep.
I wonder how they're gonna pay everyone out.
I don't know, but
All
they
that
just
money
got.
they took from everybody.
Yeah.
But how are they gonna pay it out?
No, I don't know, but
They'll probably just issue checks.
SRP just got caught overcharging solar clients.
I've been doing it for a long.
Excess.
And it's not even just a solar
If you
client.
were a solar client, now you might create a little bit of fear, but they won the lawsuit. So if you're a solar client, they were charging you more money versus the individual that wasn't solar.
Why? Because they weren't making.
Can you go down on that? Okay. Are you on any special programs? Empower.
Is it okay if I move this up?
Empower up here. It's not such a great program, to be honest. That usually typically means that they do not have good credit. Okay.
Empowered
And-
means that?
Yeah, Empower.
It did depend. I've had a couple of clients that I've sold that have Empower, but like she said, most of them clients don't have good credit.
Right.
That's why
They have it.
it's a box.
Tell me a
But
little
they
bit
put
more
in
about
a
your
box.
energy program.
Oh, okay.
Okay, tell me a little bit more about your energy program. Now, here's where and I'd write this down. This is where I go in and I create a little pain. Okay, because we can cause a little pain with these people. Well, what do you mean? Okay, so what you're currently doing is you are paying your utility bill, right? Right?
Yeah.
So you pay it every month, right? Do you look at your bill? Well, yeah. Okay. So when you send your bill to APS, your money to APS, do you ever get anything back? No. Do they ever give you any discounts or anything like that? No. Would you like to get a discount back? Would you like to have a return on your investment? Yeah, I'd like to have a return on your investment. Okay. So if I could show you something where you could have a return on your investment, would that be something that you'd be interested in? Yeah, it would be. Okay, so you're getting an agreement. You're getting them to say yes. Okay? Yes, I would. Okay. So if I could show you a program that every month you would get a return on your investment, would that be something that you would be interested in? Yes. Okay. Do you ever think that APS is ever going to give you anything back? No. Do you think that your price is going to increase every year? Yes. How many
Some people don't
How many
do that.
times a year? Yes. Okay. So, if I could show you a program where it would stay the same for the rest of your life, is that something that you would be interested in? Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
And those are called yes questions.
Mhm. No, that's called getting in agreement. Yes, but that is called getting in agreement. And when you're doing that to them, we're talking about this right here. Their subconscious mind. When you're getting them into the agreement, they're getting used to saying yes to you. Okay? So what you're doing is you're taking them by the hand and you're getting them into an agreement. Okay? Okay? So have you explored any of the solar options? Okay. Well, remember that guy that I told you about? Yeah. Okay. Well, in comparison to your last experience so far, okay, am I doing a little bit better than what he was? Yes. Okay. Another yes. Okay. Another yes. Right? Okay. Have you previously considered any other modifications? Okay. Cameron?
You can't do that with that screen, it doesn't work.
No.
I do that all the time.
If I show you, would you have the opportunity to have a if I showed you and you had the opportunity to save a substantial amount of money, would that be something that you'd be interested in doing? Today. Today. Today.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I want to thank you so much for allowing me to ask you these questions. Would it be okay if I showed you a short PowerPoint presentation? Yes. Okay, so you're getting another yes. Okay. And then you go into the PowerPoint presentation. Do you have that on here, Kim?
Yes, I do, I'm going to it.
So subconsciously, yes, 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 yes,
Uh-huh.
yes, right? You don't wanna really ask questions where you're hopefully not gonna get a whole bunch of no's, right?
Mhm.
Because then you're putting someone subconsciously to start saying.
And
what?
then you got
No.
Mr. Jones sitting over here, and he's going, yeah, but you know what, I think solar's way too expensive. Oh, Mr. Jones, if we weren't gonna be able to save you money, we don't have any business being here,
No.
okay?
Quick, simple,
Yep,
to the point.
yep, well, am I gonna have to take a loan out? Well, don't you already have a loan with APS? You're obligated, right? They're gonna make you pay that, or guess what, you're not gonna have power, am I right?
Yeah.
You're obligated, you're in agreement with them.
Are they gonna shut your power off if you don't pay your bill?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Did you sign an agreement with APS
Okay.
or SRP?
So let me
Yes.
ask you this,
You're in
okay?
agreement with
So, all right, so there's a thing called,
Yeah, nothing.
there's a thing called conviction. Do you know what conviction is?
Mm-hmm.
It's called leaning over the table and saying, Mr. Jones. Now, if you can imagine yourself, just like you're on top of the hill with your PowerPoint presentation or your planner, and you got your $1,000. Imagine yourself coming across that table and taking your hands and going, Mr. Jones, if you don't pay your bill, are you gonna have power?
Kind of shake them a little bit while you're
Mhm.
doing that.
Right. So you're obligated to pay your bill. Is that any different than having a loan? Here's the difference. Your loan's gonna get paid off. And it's not really a loan. Okay? Because you're gonna have to pay it anyway. Whether you have an investment or you pay APS. But APS, you have no control because that bill's gonna go up. Ours isn't. Right? And I look at them just like that. So, who has more value? My program or theirs?
Our program.
And I look at them just like that.
Important part is what has more value. Ultimately, it's
Yeah.
just the facts. I'm not, if this is this and this is that, comparing apples to apples and oranges to apples, like what has more value? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You're stuck, you don't have no
Yeah.
control every time the power goes up.
Logical.
So, and depending on how their attitude is how I deliver that. And sometimes people can be real. I ain't taking on no, and that's exactly how I come at that, and I would come at it just like this. And so really what I'm doing is I'm putting them right up against the wall. And once I do that, they will settle right down and say, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So you gotta build the value in what you're doing. And sometimes people will say, I don't really want to take a loan. But Mr. and Mrs. Jones, if you don't, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop the inflation. You know, think about it. We're coming out of a pandemic. Our country has just spent trillions of dollars. Trillions. Would you agree with me there? Another yes. Okay. Would you agree with me with that? Right. Do you think inflation is going to hit us? What do you think these wood, okay, conduit?
Everything's going up.
Do you think in a year I'm going to have to raise my prices?
Yeah, we already have.
My husband just paid $15, I think, for a stick of conduit at Home Depot because he ran out of it. And do you think I'm going to have to raise my prices in a year? I'm going to. Get in now, honey, while it's good, while the going's good, because the prices are going up all across the board.
Isaac, how much has copper gone up in the last year?
A roll of 12.2, which is for residential, was $47, $47.82 or something at Home Depot. Shit was $112, the same roll. So
Number 4 bear.
it's like, some people will say, oh, it's only down to 26%. That's bullshit, because it's gone like doubled in price. So I don't know how that equals 26%, but it's like double the electric, the wire cost.
That's just gonna get worse.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep. So there's value in that too. So you have to be a little bit convicted with it, because you'll hear that objection. And the cost of energy is going to go up without a question. Everything's going up. So you've got to. So what you're able to do is you're able to stabilize that cost and put the cost of inflation right here. You're able to stop it. Okay. And that's the reality of what we do. Okay. So you're gonna go into this PowerPoint presentation, and what I look for here is it's got some great facts, but what I really look for here is their engagement. Okay. I look to see if they're paying attention. I want them to pay attention, and if they don't, I stop.
You got a lot of editing to do on this, Rob.
Okay, we'll back it up.
We have Chris to throw on that.
Let's back that up.
And then I think we have some of our stuff
Alright.
too that we could just implement from this, like previous put together stuff.
So we're gonna welcome you to eco management, okay? And you're gonna go through the PowerPoint. I would kind of learn this word for word, okay? So you can watch them, okay? And if you have any questions, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I want you to stop me, okay? We'd like you to welcome all of you to Direct Solar of America. We had this made, and I think I went in and re-edited everything, didn't I?
Well, I thought you did, but I don't have it.
No, I did, because this is on me. This here.
Right, but everything says direct on it.
No, I know. Well, the one I have at home is all different. But these, I edited all this.
Okay.
The words. We'd like to welcome all of you to Direct Solar America. We're excited to have you here to share our company's vision, growth, and expectations. About Direct Solar America. Direct Solar America's subsidiary of SimPoint. We can change all that, Rob.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
some.
Take that slide right out.
Which one?
The
Direct solar
subsidiary of Single Point, slide number 4.
Okay.
And we want to replace it probably with something to do with our eco.
Yeah, Rocket Mortgage too. But I love the light bulb. Leave that. Just change the verbiage.
Hello?
Okay, go on that. So learn this and kind of pay attention to what they're doing, and there's a couple slides here that I really like. Probably shorten that up a little bit, Rob.
Okay.
Going down. Solar World. I love that one. Solar is fueled by sunlight, shines every single day, making it a renewable source of energy that will never that will never run out, unlike fossil fuels such as coal or natural gas. Solar photovoltaics, PV for short, turns sunshine photons directly into electricity through the scientific phenomenon known as photovoltaic effect. Basic solar panel.
That's
I like
a
the
good
picture.
one.
Yeah, I like the picture.
I like that slide.
That's mine. I love this
I like
one.
that one.
And I like to stop there, and then what I do with this is I explain it to her. Okay? I have put this in here for her. Okay, so and this is exactly how I explain it. This is DC energy coming down to the panels. And what it does is it goes into the inverter, converts it, runs through the meter, and it sends it back to the grid. Okay? It's called a grid tied system. And then stores it and brings it back to your house when you need it. If you need it, okay? This one, same thing, turns it into AC, that's what runs your house. Okay? Because women don't understand electronics. Or excuse me, electronics. Women don't understand the the technology behind it.
This is one of my favorite ones right here.
Connected
Oh, I'm
to-
sorry.
You're okay.
By law, credit is given to the homeowner
Mhm.
for excess solar.
Mhm.
By law, they have to.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
that's where SRP got in trouble.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I have this one homeowner that wants to get solar, but they live in a little mining town called Mammoth, and their electricity goes through the Bureau of Indians, BIA.
It's, yeah, it's the federal government, and they do not offer net metering at all, period.
And let's check on it because some of them do. Maricopa County, the reservation over there, they do.
No, I talked to them.
Did you?
Yeah.
They go, cause Maricopa, they have the Indian power over there too, and they do offer it. So it just really depends on where it's at.
I'm supposed to go to meet with the Indians, an Indian tribe this week.
Which one? Which one is that?
I'm not 100% sure. They run Casino Arizona.
These slides here, Rob,
You should reach out to auction.
number
You should reach out to auction reservation.
number
In
16.
Maricopa. They take
If
care of
we
their
could find
natives.
something that's a little
Really?
more up to
I
date
used to work
than
for auction police
2018.
department,
Okay.
and they don't have to pay if they live in their housing. They don't have to pay for the house, for the reparation of their
Same
utility
thing
bills.
with number
or
17.
The only thing they
Anything
pay
that says, you know,
out of
other than
pocket,
2018.
is their cellular and if they have internet. Everything else is paid by the reservation.
This here is my favorite slide of the
Getting
whole
them,
thing.
I'm like, hey, installing solar in the homes that you own,
Mm-hmm.
even though they're living there,
Mhm.
their reservations might be a good saving for
This-
the reservation.
This slide right here,
Wow.
make it, it's my favorite one. And 1 in 4 homeowners will purchase a solar system when the information is properly disclosed. I look right at them and tell them, I'm not here to lie to you, I'm not here to pull wool over your eyes. I'm gonna show you exactly what I can do for you. If you think it's gonna work for you, that's great. If not, we're gonna part as friends. And it gets their attention because I tell them I'm not gonna lie to them or pull wool over their eyes.
No, what we do is we sell kilowatt for kilowatt for kilowatt. That's what it is. It's going to produce X, and that's what it does.
Yeah, a lot of these slides just need to be updated a little bit, Rob.
Okay, that's fine.
This one's a good one.
Yep.
Leading solar states.
You should probably switch the leading solar states to Arizona being one of them.
Arizona is on there, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but they got Texas first.
What page is it? What page you
On 21. I just tell them on this one, they're not in any specific order. These are just the top 10 states that are producing solar right now.
Yeah.
This is a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
More workers in solar than fossil fuel.
That's a fact.
Why do people go solar? Combats rising cost.
Where's the fuel pump one?
I'm not to it yet.
Okay.
Slide number 26, Rob.
Okay.
It says in there that there's a 22%
Okay.
the federal tax credit,
Okay.
but it's the 26%. Solars are a truly renewable energy source. Reduces your carbon footprint. Very low maintenance. Rich in technology.
That was mine.
The rich in technology,
No, this one
or
here.
the
Oh, that one's mine too, that one's
yeah.
mine. I just like the way it worked. Took a long time to get it to work though.
Improves the value of the home. Right there. Boom.
That's mine. Yeah. So this is a really good scenario. And I always hit really hard on that.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get them to make a choice here. And so in 1985, the gas prices were $1.12. Okay, and it kind of reverts back to the loan. If you were able to lock in gas prices for the next 35 years, would you have done it? Okay, gas prices are up because of inflation right now, right? Of course you haven't done it. Okay, so that's what I'm asking you to do today. So let me ask you here, okay? Are you ready to do it today? And this is where silence is deadly. And I don't say a word until they answer. Okay?
And it can bring up good conversation. Like a lot of your people that you talk to, they're gonna wanna have a conversation about what gas was in the area.
Now remember, I have not showed them the proposal yet. But I'm asking for what?
An agreement.
Business.
Money.
Yeah.
I'm asking for the sale. Okay? Most salesmen, 70% of the salesmen are afraid to ask for money. Okay? I'm gonna ask you this. Do you trust what I'm saying right now? When I say that, 70% of the salesmen are afraid to ask for the money. Do you believe me?
Absolutely.
No, I'm lying.
Jeez.
85%
More.
of the salesmen are afraid to ask for money. Uh-huh.
Raise your hand if you are
What?
afraid to ask for the money.
Oh, yeah.
Don't lie.
Yeah, don't lie.
Don't
I'm
lie.
not, because I have no choice.
And the
Cameron will
difference
get his
is
ass
this-
kicked if he
The
doesn't.
difference is
He's
this, how many
there.
times have you done that? Sales presentations?
How many times have I done sales presentations?
Only for about a year.
About a year and a half now.
And how many have you done in that many times?
100,
200?
Not even that.
maybe 60,
70.
70, and I've sold probably
This is the next question I was gonna ask.
50 out of them, or 45, 50 out of them.
I would say about 40 maybe, yeah.
So look at this, 60 deals, 40 closed. Quick, simple leading, look at, discover, ask leading questions to get them into an agreement.
But I follow what Renee teaches me.
Already, you got to practice what we're talking about, right? And I do quick math. 40, he's at a 65% close ratio, guys. That's fucking huge in this industry.
Well, you know, I gotta say this. I come from my background. Well, my background is always. I was in business when I was 21 years old, and but I when I came to Arizona, I went into timeshare, and about 3% of timeshare.
Real estate, me too,
yeah.
20 years old.
About 3% of timeshare salesmen make it,
Mhm.
and but that's where I met the Tony Robbins and the Sherry Levingtons. You know, they stuck a bunch of money into you, and you know, they were all Fortune 500 companies, so they had the money to do that. And I was very fortunate to have good mentors beyond the Tony Robbins, beyond the, I work for Shell Holdings, and they're a great company to work for. And then I went out east and I worked for Festiva Group, and you know, they I was nurtured. It was shoved into me on how to be and how to think. And so when I came into the solar business, it was a big downplay for me. And
I remember my first appointment.
you know, I was, you know, I came into it and I came home and I thought, what in the fuck have I done? Oh my God, I gave up my red carpet for this. And started running these leads, and I'm going to tell you something about running leads. It's hard. And that's why I'm telling you, you got to keep your head in the game. When I went to work for, you know, in the timeshare industry, they roll out the red carpet for you. They treat you like king and queen. And when I went into the timeshare or to the solar industry, it's not like that. You are running, you're out in the field and you are by yourself.
Miles
And miles and miles and miles. It's tough to keep your head in the game. It's tough to, you know, you drive up to that home and that homeowner slams the door in your face. That homeowner yells at you. That homeowner says, I make no goddamn appointment. That homeowner says,
Perfect example yesterday, mine.
yeah. And you know, I'm gonna tell you, it happens. It just happens. I didn't, you know, I don't ever want to go solar. You know, it can be one of the most negative aspects of, you know, or you know, the marketing didn't set it up right. Whatever it may be, you gotta mentally, emotionally keep your shit on. A couple of years ago, I lost a son, and I didn't think I was gonna stay in the solar business. And I had a great big company, like a $32 million company I had. And I let it go. I walked away from it. Really.
Yes, we did.
And
Walked away is what we did.
I couldn't see myself wanting to do that. And so we just let it go. I had to make a choice. Because I couldn't run that, I couldn't have the weight of everything on me. And grieve at the same time. So I walked away from it. And we came back to Phoenix. And what I did was I called a friend up and said, I had a solar company here in Phoenix, and I said, you know what? I want you to put me out in the field, and I want you to give me leads. I said, I might not sell them, but it's just where I need to hide. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. He gave me lead after lead, and I was gone for 14 hours a day. And you want to know what I learned about myself? It didn't matter if that homeowner was there. It didn't matter if that homeowner yelled at me. It didn't matter. I just took the leads. I drove from Happy Valley Road to Tucson for 1 week. I drove to Happy Valley Road, from Happy Valley Road, anybody know where that is?
Mhm.
Okay. To, where is it? Way down past Tucson.
Sierra Vista.
Sabanita,
Past.
Green Valley.
Past.
Morales.
Past.
You're at
You were almost in New Mexico on that one day.
Yeah.
You were almost to
Bisbee,
that's-
Benson.
even more east.
What's that?
like
Past.
Safford,
Starts with a D. You don't pass.
Duncan.
No.
Almost to, anyway.
Douglas.
No, it's way past, and it almost it winds.
Yeah,
it's
that's all
it's
I forget
through. It's way down there. It's like 2 hours past Tucson.
Yeah, it's almost to the New Mexico border. There's a little town there that starts with a D.
Anyway, it was 4.5 hours from my house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I get down there, and it was the judge of this town. He was a judge, and I find out he'd been pitched before. And I sat down at his table and I said, didn't even open up my computer. One lead. And I said, he says, well, I'm the judge, and I said, I'm gonna tell you something. I said, my last company, I'm surrounded. They called me Judge Judy. I said, so we're gonna get along great. I said, I only have one question for you today. I said, I know George was down here and pitched you about 6-8 weeks ago. I said, my only question today for you is why didn't you buy from him? And how, if you didn't buy it, I said, how can I help you? And he says, well, I didn't really understand George. He said, I really want solar. And, but I couldn't really understand him. And George was the best salesman of the company. And I said, well, was it about affordability or what? He said, I really want a ground mount. And he really didn't want to give me a ground mount, So I got a transformer out there. He said, I can, and you know what? I'm the judge. I can get whatever I want done. Not a problem. I got all the rock. I just want a ground mount right out there. I said, well, how much was he telling you it was going to be? And he says, I don't know. It was going to be like $77,000. I said, if I can do one for $75,000, I said, will you do it today? He said, yeah, I will. Text the owner of the company. I said, can I do a ground mount for $77,000? So he's got a transformer sitting right here and a new service panel upgrade. Can we do it today? Oh, I gotta take this. Sorry. Hello, this is Renee. Hi, Roberta. That's okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Just the 2 barnwood. Yep, because I got the 1 box of the barnwood. That's okay. Perfect. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Roberta, for helping me. All right. Thank you, dear. All right. Bye-bye. Home Depot lost my wood. All right. So he said, well, how much is it going to produce? And I told him. And so the owner came back and said, well, yeah. He says, how long you been there? I said, about 15 minutes. And he ended up buying it. And I got a lot of referrals out of him. It was like $75,000. He ended up doing it. So sometimes it doesn't take much. As long as you ask the homeowner, what do you want?
An agreement.
Why didn't you do it? And what do you want? Give them what they want. Okay? Because some people will just go in and give them a bunch of spieling, a lot of rolling, and they never really ask for the sale. Okay? Because some people know what they want. And some people have the power to get what they want. You know what I'm saying? Okay? So, because it wasn't my skill set that got it. I figured out, he's the judge. He can do whatever he wants, when he wants, and how he wants. And then guess what? About 3 months later, he decided he wanted 7 more panels on, 8 more panels, calls me separately on my own company and says, hey, I want you to come down here and add more. Remember that? And he said, rather than have them do it, can you just come down here in your own company and do it? Charge him, a great share of money to go do it. Because it was a long way down there to do it, So, the thing is you just gotta ask people for what they want and why and how and, what was your reason?
Most of the time, we can get what that customer wants.
And listen, just listen.
Did you guys hear what they just said? Can I touch on something real quick? This is important for you guys to understand, okay? So when you're asking what they want, all it comes down to is, I want this. Okay, how much money is that gonna cost us? You guys don't need to figure that out. That's where you guys call your powers to be, right? And that whole vetting thing that she was telling you, if they know that you're the last, whenever I go to an appointment, you think usually I won't tell anybody, I'm just another sales rep, or I'm just a tech sales rep, right? I'm not the owner. Why? Because even I have to call my sales manager and see if I can get that approval for you. All that does is gives you a buffer, and it shows them the reality that there's a team of divisions and companies, and because that's how we're set up, right? That you have to go, but your hires to be, what you're gonna do is work to get them what they want, like Miss Renee did, right? Now Miss Renee just called, hey, can we make this work? I'll get this deal sold if we can get this for this gentleman, because this is what he wants at this price. Can we do it? It's our job back here to do our numbers. Now this is what's gonna happen in the back end. We're gonna be figuring out our red line. We're gonna be figuring out your lead. We're gonna be figuring out his commission. And we're gonna say, okay, if we do what you guys want and the cost, yeah, commission was gonna be X. It's still gonna be X amount, but the system's this big. Are you guys good to get the sell done? You guys are the ones standing on top of the mountain, right? You already have this in your hand. You're gonna have to decide, is 5,000 okay instead of maybe 7,000? Or, does that make sense?
Yeah.
That becomes your guys' ability to control the sell and what you guys ultimately take home. But this is what I say, when you guys spend the time to drive out to an appointment, and we spend the time to create it, or you guys spend the time to create the lead, right? Because aside from this, what happens is once Miss Renee has built you guys up to be these again, you're starting at the hardest point, which is create the lead, and then it's to come in and then to close the lead. So you see how you're gonna naturally morph into all these experiences that they've gone through on the sell side. What's gonna happen is there's gonna be a time that our company also pays for creation of appointments. The experiences that she's currently expressing to you guys about are those appointments, not your guys' what is called warm or hot leads. A warm lead is someone that's a hot lead is a personal friend, referral, etc. that it's easier for you to connect with, right? That's why we're doing it this way, because your first 3 to 5 deals should be all warm deals where you're probably gonna get a lot more yeses and a lot less hurdles, and that's not even true. Sometimes you have more hurdles with your own people than you will with people you don't know. And I'll let Miss Renee expand
Yeah.
and Cameron
It's
expand.
taken
on
me
that.
3 years to close Scott.
His own
My next door
personal-
neighbor.
Oh, wow.
3 years. I never gave up on him.
And so with that, now after the 3 years, now he has a new line of potential. down.
Yeah, so it's all about, you know, how you present yourself. And, you know, a lot of times too, it's your eye contact. And how you're looking at the people and how you're engaging with the people. I mean, you gotta get into them. You gotta have a heart sell, okay? So, it's like you're digging down into their heart and heartstrings, and you gotta bring them back out, okay? You gotta be passionate about what you're doing, and you gotta let them know that, okay? You gotta give the love on. It's gotta be about love.
Call it mirror.
And you know, it's about you know, selling with passion, selling with love, and you got to be able to get on that horse every single time. You know, I am a completely different person when I'm in the house than when I'm in the office. Okay, I am a completely different person when I'm selling than when I'm in operations. Completely different person than when I'm selling than when I'm out in the field. When I'm out in the field, I'm talking like a truck driver. Okay?
So it is.
What the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah.
She comes to the job.
That's what it is.
Fuck you
Shit,
thinking?
my bad.
You know? Because that's the language they understand. Okay?
Very nice.
But a homeowner doesn't understand.
Oh, no.
Okay. Sales room, I can clear a sales room in 2 seconds. And I've done it. Many times. Okay? I am not very tolerant of lazy salesmen. You gotta be on your game. I think the way Isaac is setting this up, and I 100% agree, you gotta be able to produce some of your own leads. Okay? For years, we were on this program where we've spoon fed. Just like a mama bird feeds a baby bird. It breeds lazy salesmen. It breeds whiny salesmen. It breeds selfish salesmen. It breeds complainers. It breeds junk. It does. It does. And the best salesman is the salesman that gets it on his own. The best salesman is the one that goes and gets referrals. Honestly. Always has been, always will be. That's the one that's gonna eat the best.
That's in real estate, that's in loans, and that's in solar too. Car, if you're a car dealer,
It's insurance
that's
too.
insurance, all these
Yep,
industries that are
yep,
similar like that.
yep.
That individual's gonna be better in any one of those.
Hustler.
One of the biggest things that you need to learn to get to is, are you ready? Do you trust what I'm saying?
Are you ready?
Okay. Do you trust what I'm saying?
I carry these into the grocery store with me.
Mhm. That's where you
And I never have a business card with me. I'm not smart that way. Not very smart with that. And I might carry one or two with me
Me
if
too.
I'm going somewhere.
I think they may.
Okay. So, you know what's, hey Rob,
Yes, ma'am.
can you email Cameron a proposal?
I have a proposal.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
No, I want Rob to email a fresh one.
I got Scott's. What we just did.
Oh, okay.
Or not Scott's,
No, let's do Scott's. That's that. Is that a cash one?
no. Send me one over, Rob.
Okay.
Are we done with the presentation, or do you wanna go through the last few slides?
Yeah, we're kind of done with the presentation.
And the presentation seems like a lot, but it doesn't take no time to
Okay.
memorize it.
Okay, cool.
None.
Yeah, look pretty easy.
I pull it up when I'm in the house, but I don't even look at it when I'm in there.
Okay, cool.
I just go through the slides and it all comes out. But you also can make it your own. You use them slides, but I put my own words in on them now.
Yeah. Do it your own little way.
Now, Rob, send one with some financing on it.
Okay. Actually, that does. You look at page 5,
On which one?
the one I just sent you.
I don't have it. You sent it to Cameron at Meg Energy?
Yeah. You're probably not hooked up to the internet.
I am hooked to the internet.
No, wrong one.
Send it to my old email, Rob?
Yep.
I don't have access to that no more, buddy.
Well-
These will be temporary before you leave. I'm gonna have you order with Rob, actual ones for you. They're just a general, they'll have this, you just literally put
There it is.
your name and number, personal number.
So I got to write it down.
Yeah, we'll give you a Sharpie or something, just for temporary, and then, but they take about a week to come in. So this will just be for like a little week, and before you leave, we'll put the order.
So, are you guys in the mode of collecting the bill prior to the lien?
If at all possible, we try
Okay.
to.
So, bill. Collect the bill if you can before. If you don't collect the bill, you need to collect the bill right when you get to the table. Okay. You need to get that bill over to Rob. He likes to have a full bill with a graph.
First 2 pages.
So, because if you don't, he's gonna ask for it. And while you're doing your presentation, your warm up, meet and greet, give the agenda, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a PowerPoint, I'm gonna do a questionnaire, then I'm gonna go do a PowerPoint, we're gonna look at your service panel. And then by that time, Rob's gonna have a beautiful presentation for you, and I'm gonna go through the presentation for you, okay? And then, or excuse me, the proposal for you, and then, we'll see, how beautiful our program is for you, Okay, so, but first off, I need a bill from you. So if you could get that for me, I'd really, really appreciate it, so I can get it off to Rob. Okay, so, and here we have a proposal here, so we're gonna look at the proposal. First thing you need to do is you need to ask your homeowner if the name on it is correct, okay? And then you're gonna remember, we looking at your house, how beautiful those panels are? Okay. And then you're gonna say, and I always love to do this, you know your neighbors next door? How are they gonna feel about panels being on your roof? Okay, no, go back down here. Go back up the top. How are your neighbors gonna feel about those panels on there? Do you know? And they're gonna say, well, yeah, we know our neighbor. So they're gonna be your first referral, right? You're gonna hit the referral again, okay? They're gonna be your first referral, because as soon as they see these, they're gonna want them, okay? Because everybody wants what their neighbor has. Do
Keep it up with the Joneses.
do you agree with me?
I do, because my neighbor, as soon as we put ours up, he goes, hey, who did your solar?
I
I go,
did.
we did. And it's like, and then he started talking to me. Well, when you go solar, he's gonna want them too. And my little neighbor is like a hot little neighborhood that just needs to. I kept telling, I was like, bro, you got so much money sitting right here. Just going door to door, hand up flyer, and just something. But yeah.
Yep. Okay, so make sure that everything's clear and good, and then go on to the next one. Oh, something else I do too is I go up here, okay, and go back to the top there. I do make sure that they back to the top.
That is tough.
No, very top. I just make sure that they do understand that we are licensed, bond insured. This is our ROC number. Okay. Okay, now you can go. I'm not a words person.
I skip over this part.
Yeah, I'm not a words person.
I come to right here.
And this isn't a huge offset, but a little bit of a scope of work. We're gonna give you a turnkey. What that means is it's everything included, because we're a full EPC. That means that we do from front to back, so we don't do any subcontracting, okay? And the graph is good. That means that we're going to, I usually like to see 100% offset, but everything's gonna be 100% offset. I push for 100% offset. Maybe we don't have enough room on here. Probably not, right?
Turn the panels the other way.
Yeah, poor trim.
The panels are turned wrong. We had turned the panels the other way, there'd be more room.
Alright, go down a little bit. Alright, I'm a little careful with this little deal here, because there's a lot of numbers on here. Numbers confuse people, okay? So what I do here is I go with annual usage. Your electrical without solar, you're doing 13,000. The system right here with solar production is going to produce 10,000 kilowatt hours. Okay, so your annual bill without solar is 17,000
1,700.
or 1,700. Okay, your utility bill with solar. Is that not good?
694.
Which one are you on?
Excuse me.
Savings is 1,664.
What am I not seeing right here? Utility bill with. Oh, okay. So
Yes,
your
sir.
utility bill, their savings is they're gonna save $1,164, right?
Well, here's saying they're only, on this one, their annual was 1,770. That's without
Which is
solar.
okay.
With solar, it's only gonna be 694. So your savings is $1,664 a year.
Okay, yeah, that's right. That's been a while since. So.
And I tell them that 690 for that 694. I tell them 90% of that is your connection fee, your taxes, and stuff like that.
And you're only really, see that 3,000, if you're producing 10 and they have 13, they're only really buying back from the utility company about $3,000 or 3,000 kilowatt hours a year.
Right. Mhm.
So you can almost reduce.
So do y'all understand that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't go in the numbers in the middle because it's going to
Yeah,
confuse you.
this is confusing to them
Yeah, you'll
on a
be all-
monthly
you'll be-
basis. So just make sure that you know what your numbers are doing right here and, right here, excuse me. Yep, solar burn, this is what they're burning, and I use the word burning, okay, cause it's a bad word, burn, 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 okay? And this is what you're producing, or this is what you're producing, okay? Clean energy. Another thing I like to, when you wake up in the morning, okay, and the sun is rising, you start producing clean energy from the sun, okay? The good Lord gave us the sun for more than just one reason, right? Not just for heat, not just to grow vegetation, it's to produce energy for our homes, right? Do you agree with me, Mr. Urso? Yeah, okay. So, let's go down a little bit. And this is your graph. It's pretty, isn't it?
This bottom paragraph right here is the one that I like to read.
Oh yeah, I do too. So the graph at the right shows, okay, this is what you're gonna produce. Okay. So the graph at the right shows your monthly electricity bill after switching on your new PV system. So what it does is it puts that system right in their lap for them, okay? Gives them ownership. Your average monthly bill will fall from $147 to $50.42. You will save an average of $97 a month on your electric bill, and that's 66% less than you pay now. Okay?
Is this the Solar Nexus one still?
Yeah, this is
Mhm.
the one.
They just added a whole lot of more verbiage onto it.
Yeah,
what
this
they did
is a brand new one. The other nice thing is when you're on the payment page, you can do 3 payment.
Yeah, I
completing.
seen that.
Mm-hmm.
The one that DSA used, if you go to the next page, you'll see a lot more detail as far as what the payments are gonna be. I mean,
Now-
like with this, you can give somebody a 25-year payment, a 20-year payment, and a 15-year payment. It's like, okay, which one makes more sense to you, A, B, or C?
Okay, so now this is where I want you to pay attention, okay? So when you're paying, when you're gonna present the money, okay? This is, really critical when you're gonna lay out money. And there's a percentage here of winners and losers when they present money to clients, okay? This is where about %5 of the closers win. Do you trust what I'm saying here? True or false? Do you trust me or not when I say that?
This, about 5% of the people fell?
5% of the closers win.
Oh, when?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you trust what I'm saying? 5% of the closers win this game. So when you present money, when you get to this stage here, you need to, before you present this money, you need to ask the homeowner, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, do you have any more questions for me? Yes or no? Do you understand all of what I've showed you today? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. So if you look at our program as a whole, what part of it do you love the most? I love the fact that, you know, in the morning when we get up, we can, you know, start producing our own energy. I love the fact that I can, you know, get a return on my investment. Okay, good. All right. So, of our program, what part do you like the least? Well, you know, I don't like the idea of having a loan. Okay. Well, but are you gonna pay for this anyway? Right? Is your bill gonna go up next year? Yes. Okay. So if I could stop that from happening, prevent that from happening for you, does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. And if APS goes up, you know, 5% next year, would that 5% be able to go back in your pocket, right? Plus your ROI, a little bit of ROI from here, it's gonna go back into your pocket every month, every year for the next 25 years. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. Okay. So you agree with me that there's savings, right? All right. So when we're doing this, you're creating this funnel. Okay, it's called the sales funnel. There's a sales cycle, and then there's a sales funnel. Okay, and what that funnel is you're filling it up with the value and commitments. Think of yourself. You know, you've been on top of the hill. You've mentally, emotionally put yourself into the mindset to go in there, and you've already got the money in your pocket before you even get there, right? Right? Okay. But think of yourself as going down the hallway of a great big beautiful house, and you're shutting the door to objections. Okay? You're closing them down as you go. Okay?
Thank you.
And you have no idea what you're selling. Money doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what this says. Doesn't matter that this deal here is $35,000. Doesn't matter. Okay? You have not even mentioned that there's going to be an incentive. Who cares? Okay? Because money doesn't matter. It's what you've done to get here. It's what you've said in order for them to understand, because they trust what you've said. Right? They trust what you've said. Because if they don't, you haven't done your job. You haven't gained enough interest. You haven't built enough value. Because if we don't get what we want here before we do this, we need to loop back and do something back up here before we do this. Okay? Because this is the end all. We don't want to get here and them say no. Because if they say no here, we're what?
Done.
Done. Okay? So we need to prepare. That's why we need to ask all what we need to ask. We need to suck out all of the objections by asking the final questions. So, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, if I had the right program for you today, what would prevent you from moving forward? Because remember earlier, what did I do? I asked for the money, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
And what did I get? A yes. Okay? And sometimes, I'll do this right there. Right then and there.
I just got one quick question here, because I'm trying to do some numbers on this that I usually do. Rob, on this proposal,
Uh-huh.
it's saying the payment is $59.03 for the first 18 months, and then it doubles after that. Why?
That is the new Loan Pal Flex Pay. The way the Loan Pal Flex.
Because this proposal is not saving these people nothing.
Pardon me?
This proposal ain't saving them nothing. $9,000 over 25 years, that's nothing.
So look at the flex play, and so Lone Pal came out with this called Flex Loan, program, and it's supposed to be kind of what they came up with, their version of interest only for the 18 months. So it's supposedly for clients that want less of a payment and more of a savings up front. It's supposed to basically give them that ability to pay less. So their Loan Pals, and David specifically, the reps, comment to that was, because I brought up Sonova, I was like, how are you guys gonna compete with this lease, right? And the pricing of that. He goes, oh, well, this will compare with that because the lease payments are just exorbitantly lower, you know what I mean? So how do you guys compete with that? They said this flex program competes with leases in that manner that it does that.
On this proposal here, it's only saving these people $30 a month. This proposal. And you take $30 a month at 25 years, that's only a $9,000 savings.
Well, you know, unfortunately, when you're dealing with smaller systems in Illinois, I mean, that's all you can do.
I just didn't know, I wasn't sure why the payment would double like that.
And-
Usually it goes up like
And
20
so-
bucks if they don't put the,
Actually, the way I figure it, which is, like, for instance, the best way to figure out, let's say, for instance, the payment's $100 a month, and and the customer wants to know what is it gonna be if they do not pay the tax credit down, take that $100 a month, divide it by 0.74. And what that will do is it'll raise it up 26%.
right, but that's still less than what this payment's raising. This payment's doubling.
Well, yeah, because when you take a look at the flex pay, for the first 18 months, it's true interest only, and it works out to be about 35% less.
So they get most of their savings of that, they're getting their savings more in the beginning, and it spreads out their, for me, I personally don't really see a whole lot of benefit in the flex program, for when I'm starting to kind of like to realize on the.
I'm not seeing any.
Now, with these specific clients for Illinois, it's a different market, and the cost of electric is so cheap out there that the only place that we can sell is in the ComEd area, the utility company.
Yeah.
Like the Amran, we're not doing any business.
And so, in order, like, what they're selling out there right now is, and it's hard because obviously to keep numbers, everybody needs to make commission, right, and keep fed. In order for them to make these deals pencil, they're having to sell basically a minimal savings with the inception that the following years with the escalation.
It
And
just timed out.
we're locking, they're selling that we're beating inflation more than savings.
This is that's the reason
Up
I'm
there
bringing
in
this,
that
this is
market.
one of my biggest sales, when they do that whole no thing.
Yeah.
I'll go through all the numbers, well, you're gonna save this month per month.
Yeah.
This is what you're gonna save per year, this is what you're gonna save over the lifetime
Of the
loan
project.
and everything, and that usually, and then after I was doing this, I'm like, wait, I gotta be doing something wrong here.
And up there, yeah, for their economics, those deals are, now when the SREC pops back in over there, all that changes. The economics, there's an extra 65
Right.
cents per watt. So even if the sales group
Right.
gets another 20 cents and we get another 20 cents, the customer gets 25 cents, that's a.
It's a big,
25
it's
That's a
big
huge
number.
differentiator.
Okay,
And that's what
Rob.
happened in that
Yes, ma'am.
market,
Can you throw me something that's,
in the Arizona market,
yeah,
because that's the
Do
market.
you
that
understand
we're
what I
looking
was
at.
saying?
yeah, we gotta have an Arizona.
If you're looking at a different market, Rob, it's not gonna work for the market that we're in because economics
Yeah,
are
we don't
different.
want Arizona. We
If
don't
we're
want
dealing with
Illinois.
Texas, we gotta look at Texas and those economics. If we're
Cause like I
looking
said,
at
this
California-
is a big part of my pitch, if they wanna start saying no, I'll show them their savings over the loan period. And usually it's way more than $9,000 over 25 years.
But this is important for like individuals, like, for example, I know that you may have a lead of clients, a potential network in California. And Pebble Beach is, if not mistaken, is in San Diego, which is where we're actively going to open up. So it's not a far-fetched, Pebble Beach is probably a closer reality to making it.
California's a good market.
So my thing is, if we start hitting that market, but then see this, all these things, depending
I
on
gotta
the market, kinda change.
Mm.
Take
Go
a
make a
call
call.
at 11:30.
So it's important to know the
So
principles
I'll
of
take
this
over
and how it's just
at
for market.
11:30.
Okay.
I'm sending you over a Arizona one.
I gotta leave at 11:30. I gotta drop along the presentation, what he said, an hour. My mom's in the hospital.
Okay.
I gotta go to Tucson.
Oh, shoot, okay. Yeah, we're gonna record the majority of, everything's being recorded as we speak, so.
Okay.
We're taking notes. I don't know how much further
Yeah.
we're going. I don't know how much more time Miss Renee really had, because I know she's a busy gal and so is Cameron. So if you have to cut out when you do them, we'll keep the meeting going and we'll fill you in and you can circle back.
Yeah. I just gotta take a call here at 11:30 here.
Probably we gotta go hit some balls or something.
But I need to talk to you anyway, so
Okay.
can I get you for like 10 minutes real quick?
Yeah,
Wanna go now?
yeah. I'll use one.
Send it to the right email, Rob?
I did.
We can take like a 10-15 minute break. I gotta take a call at 11:30.
Okay,
That'd be great.
then you guys go with that?
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Cigarette sounds good. Yeah, I was looking at the numbers.
We're gonna talk to Stuart and Blake at 11:30.
You are?
Yeah. Well, so are you.
Oh, all right. Did they